What come to your mind when you are thinking about having a business or you are a business owner?
Stress.
What is it, Dia?
Stress.
Press?
Stress. Stress.
Oh, stress. Yes. I think many business owners have lots of stress. Some of us think that, well, being a business owner is nice. You can work on flexible time, but in reality, it's stressful. But I will help you today also how not to be stressful in being a business owner and managing your business. Anyone else? Well, as a business owner, executive, and even as employees, we always try and strive to have profits, right? But in reality, some businesses are not profitable or they may even lose money. Like Dia said, when you have a business or you are a business owner, you are an executive, or you think, well, when I have a business, I can have lots of money, then I can enjoy my time, have vacation with my family, and I can just stay on the beach. In reality, you're very stressful. So today, I would like to share with you about company makeover for massive profits. Can you see?
Still loading.
Still loading for me.
Okay, now can you see? Okay. Well, I am Ronawati Wongso, CFA. CFA stands for Chartered Financial Analyst, and I am CEO of Rantai Breakthrough Consulting, a business consultant specializing in profit optimization and company turnaround. I'm also author of Company Makeover for Massive Profits. Some of you may wonder, what's the difference between profit optimization and company turnaround? The objective is the same, but the term profit optimization is used when a company already make profit, but they want to optimize their profit. It means that they want to increase their profit. While company turnaround is when the company is losing money and then they would like to make money. The effort is the same in the sense that we try to increase profits massively. An introduction, Company Makeover for Massive Profits, is taken from my book, Company Makeover for Massive Profit, which is available in Tokopedia or in rantaibusinessacademy.com. So it's available in English and Indonesian version, and it's a handbook for executive to help them increase their company profit. Victory comes from finding opportunities in problem. That's what Sun Tzu said. In a lot of cases, there are opportunities even when there are problems. For example, during the COVID, many companies had difficulties. However, some companies thrive. For example, one of my clients, of course, at the beginning of the COVID, they struggle because this company is in logistic. Shipment of goods is much less, and they have their ships idle. But right in the middle of the COVID, the shipment is booming. The price of the ship is so high because a lot of logistic company or shipping company, they sell their ships as scraps. So when the economy pick up, people are looking for ships. So the price is very high. And also, one of my friend owns a company in woodworking, and he exported to the US. And people might think, well, during the COVID, your business could be difficult. Well, in fact, it's booming. He had the best sales ever in the history of the company. What does he produce? Well, he produces wooden furniture. And when people stay at home, then they would like to improve their quality of life at home. So they invest or buy more furniture at home. So in every problems, there are always opportunities. So please do keep that in mind. Now, how can company makeover result in massive profits? If a company make profit, or if a company just doing okay, and then if they just increase a little bit, that's a lot of people can do. But when we say company makeover result in massive profits, it means like within a short period of time, can be within 6 months to 3 years. Then if your company lose money a lot, you can turn around it. I'm referring to some of my experience whereby I help companies who lost about 400 billion rupiah, and I turned around the company within 1 year and making profit. Not a lot of profit, but it's profitable. Not just one company, but more than one companies. So now you may ask me about the secret of turning around companies. Well, before that, I would like to share our agenda today, which is an introduction, a blind spot even the best CEOs make. HRS system. This is a system which invented by me, and then a summary. A little bit of my background. I am an author of Company Makeover for Massive Profits, and it's available, as I mentioned, in Tokopedia or in rantaibusinessacademy.com. In Tokopedia, you can either search the title or you can search for my name. And I have helped company increase profits massively, 3,000%, and turn around 29 million US dollar. Turn around means from losing to making profit. And I have 30 years of business experience, of which 20 years as CFO, and specializing in profit optimization and company turnaround. And I have my education MBA from the University of Texas, Austin, my BSBA from USC, Los Angeles, and I am a CFA charter holder. Now let me discuss. Oftentimes, we spotted this blind spot, but even the best CEOs make. What is that blind spot? Well, one blind spot is that we often think about obvious, not Einstein. What does it mean? Thinking obvious, not Einstein. In fact, we experience this, and we often do it in our day-to-day life as well. But here I would like to talk specifically about business. Let me discuss a little bit about thinking obvious, not Einstein. Maybe to give you more understanding and more in context, I would like to give an example. And this is actually a real example. So one hotel in London has about 26 stories. And then they add another story to become 27 stories. When they add this 27 stories, so one story additional, people start complaining about waiting time for the elevator. It takes longer. and people hate to wait. So the manager was thinking, well, what can I do? So first, she tried to ask the engineering to speed up the elevator. But the engineer said, well, there is already the optimum speed. And then they tried to think about maybe they can divide into zoning. Maybe like stop at the 10th floor and then move to another elevator, go to the higher floor. But still, it doesn't solve the problem. And then she think about, well, maybe make or build new elevators to help elevate this. And she asked the architect to add elevator. But the architect said, well, we don't have any space. We don't have any space. So the manager start thinking to find a solution. Anyone would like to guess what the solution is? Please raise your hand. Anyone? It's okay to guess. So don't be afraid, that you don't get it right. It's okay. Okay, no taker? Okay, let me explain a little bit. Well, finally, what did the manager do? Many of us think about adding facility, adding elevator, make it make it faster. But actually, what the manager's solution is, she put a mirror where people wait for the elevator. Once again, what's the problem? Actually, the problem is waiting time, right? What they are concerned is the waiting time. So by having a mirror, people can look at them, try to improve, maybe to see how they dress, etc. So while waiting, they can do something, they can make an activity, and they don't complain anymore. So that's what I mean is thinking obvious, not Einstein. Because we often think about the obvious thing. Need more elevator, make it faster. But we don't think that the actual problem is about waiting time. And then I gave you one more example where it applies to my client. One of my clients was the biggest aluminum sheet manufacturer in the Southeast Asia. There were some management change in the last 5 years, and they just lost their biggest customer, which buy from them 50%, and they export to the US. So of course, then the CEO basically give the instruction to the marketing to find new clients to replace this client that is gone. But then when I come as a consultant hired by the company, I try to look what's the problem. Why they lose this customer? And then I found out that the product quality doesn't meet the requirement. The delivery time delays several times. Oftentimes it's like 2 to 3 months. Then this customer has customers, right? Because they are like a distributor or they are reseller. So they have customer that they have to serve. And they cannot just rely on the company. So at the end, this customer bought aluminum sheet manufacturers in the US and they supply to their customer. So they don't buy anymore from like my client. So oftentimes when we see the problem is, well, this is something that we have to find a replacement. Look for new clients. But we don't see the problem that the actual problem, the root cause problem, is the quality of the goods and the delivery time. So even if they have new customers, if they don't change or improve on their quality and also on the delivery time, then even if they have new customer, they will be gone, maybe after trying 1 or 2 times. So again, thinking obvious, not Einstein. This is very important. And this is what Einstein said. It's not that I am so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. It means that you need to think through what the real problem before you jump into solution. How well you define a problem determines how well you solve it. And Einstein believed the quality of the solution you generate is in direct proportion to your ability to identify the problem you hope to solve. And we need to dig deeper to find the right problems. With this in mind, I would like to bring you to how we can increase profits massively and you can be a business owner who is not stressful and manage your work systematically. I use what I call HRS system, and this is my system because I invented this system. The first step is helicopter overview. What do I mean by helicopter overview? Helicopter overview means that I look at the company as a whole. What they have, what they don't have. The same when we ride a helicopter. We only have a view from the above. We don't see like the beauty of a person house, the detail of a landscape, but we can see from above if we have mountain, we have river, we have sea, we have forest. So scan everything from above. While we try to have helicopter overview, then we also try to determine root cause problems. We try to connect all the puzzles, try to think about the business process, try to think about efficiency, and think about where fraud or where fraud could happen. Determine root cause problem is very important, as I said, not to look at the surface problem, but really try to find deep. And the third, after we determine the root cause problems, then we implement solutions. So HRS, helicopter overview, determine root cause problems, and implement solutions. Now, maybe you ask, what do I have to look at when I do helicopter overview? Well, I have 7 universal themes. The first one is financial statement. Why is financial statement is important? Well, financial statement is like if we are student, is your rapport. How well you do is the result of your effort. It's a result of what you have done. For example, if your result is profitable or if your result is losing money, that is the end result. You have to look what make it profitable or why you lose money. So this is one compass or one indication of your effort. And the second is about organization structure. A lot of companies ignore organization structure or don't put too much emphasis on organization structure. Especially when company grow from small and then to become bigger and bigger. Usually it just like naturally, organically, it flows on its own without any planning. But organization structure actually is one of the pillar for the company to grow and also to establish their internal control. The third is personnel. Personnel mean like the human resources or the quality of your employees. When you have, let's say when you are a chef, the raw material or the quality, the raw material you have will determine the taste or the freshness of your food. So personnel, like we often hear, is asset for the company. So how good are they? Are they the right person at the right time, at the right place? How is their moral? Are they happy working for the company? Because when people are happy working for the company, then they will do their best. The fourth is operation. Operation is about production if it's goods or delivering service if it's service. And also we look at the supply chain management and also the HR department, HR management. Usually when I look at this operation, I'd like to visit the office, I'd like to visit the factory, because then by walking through, we can see the quality of the company. For example, usually if the company is clean, they put everything in order, then this company is well managed. Because even if they pay, even if they pay attention to the small things, it means they will look at the bigger thing. And then cash flow. Cash flow divided into two, which is the procure to pay, which means that from buying until payment, or order to cash. It means we receive order until we receive cash. So one is the expense cycle and the other one is the revenue cycle. And then number 6, I think is not, sometimes people don't feel it's very important, but in fact it's very important, is the corporate culture. If let's say your company is a company or the culture is wasteful, then we can see all over that they are not trying to save. They don't have any sense of belonging. The employees don't feel any sense that they own the business. So corporate culture is very important and it needs to be defined so that everyone has the same culture as what the owners or the executive wants. And last but not least, sales and marketing. Do you know what's the difference between sales and marketing? Anyone? What is sales and what is marketing? Because for me, I was a little bit confused as well long before, but actually these two are interrelated, but they are different. Sales is always transactional. It means the exchange of goods or services with money. Transactional. So the actual buying and buying. But marketing is more about promotion, about branding, about market research. So it's not the transaction itself, but marketing will promote to make the sales. If they have maybe promotion, they have bundling promotion, etc. That's usually the work of the marketing. While the sales is trying to get to sell your goods or services. Now let's go to the second step. Determine root cause problems. When we try to put the puzzle, as I mentioned, when we do the helicopter overview, we try to determine what is the root cause problems. Are there any leaks? Are there any inefficiency? And then secondly, not a service problem. So not just one-time problem and not one-time saving. Let me give you an example. Not a service problem. I work in a company where the company always take a long time to pay the supplier. It's not about money because the company is rich. It has lots of money. But why does the company pay for so long? Often like 6 months or longer. So the goods that they buy, in my opinion, is high. And if you just try to, let's say, get more supplier, it seems that you will get a lower price, but probably the same supplier will bid for your project. Well, I find out that it's not a service problem. The company can make 6 months or longer payment because internally, when they issue the purchase order, sometimes it's not in the system. Because this company has a system where they have a budget, anything over the budget, it needs to get approved. And it could be like 10 people have to approve, which take a long time. Well, the need for the goods is eminent. So it means like the purchasing department will issue, I would say like illegal purchase order because it's created manually. So it's not in the system. So when a supplier give their invoice and ask for payment, it may not be in the system yet. It means that the finance department cannot pay. So it means that we need to look at the root cause problems, what caused it. And also not one-time saving. I will give you an example. When I joined a company, this company has about 25,000 employees and losing money. And the CEO tried to cut the workforce by 25%, with the hope that with the lower cost, the company can make money. But even though the labor cost is lower, the company still lose money. And then I look at the problem. Why is it? Well, they just have a one-time saving, but did not create a sustainable system. What do I mean by sustainable system? After I dig deeper and try to find the root cause problems, I find out that internal control is the ultimate problems for the company. So although the labor cost is lower, but other costs, because of the leaks, because of the inefficiency, because of low internal control, there are many, I would say the cost is high, still high and even maybe higher. The third is implement solutions. There are three things to implement solution, which is embedded internal control. It means that we would like to have internal control from the beginning of the transaction until the end of the transactions. It means check and recheck. And then second, work together at the same time. When we see problems, usually the problem is not alone. Many problems at the same time. So the same when we would like to implement solution, we have to find a solution that work together at the same time. And it is an integrated solution. I give you an example. Let's say that we have found an internal problem or internal control. Then, of course, I would like to strengthen that internal control. First, I will have a limit of authority for check and recheck. And work together, it means that I have to review the SOP and make SOP that can strengthen my internal control. And then the integrated solution, I will also have the reward and carrot and stick, and they all have to work together so that we can have a powerful or solution that work. I give you an example where this company, I turn around 400 billion in a year. The company has many, I would say this is a group. So we have about 22 companies in Indonesia. And every month, every company just asking for money. They give a budget and the head office send the money. But they never ask for accountability. What the money is used for. So you ask for so much, and what do you use the money for? And what happened to the remaining, or if there is any under or over budget. Because with budget, actually, there is never exactly the same. So there is no accountability. So I rearrange the organization structure. I make the centralized or shared services whereby major payment is made by the head office while we give petty cash to the operating branches or operating factories. And they have to report accountability every week. So that way we know exactly what the money is used for and whether there are any efficiency or inefficiency. So let me recap. There are 3 steps to increase profits massively. H is helicopter overview, R is to determine root cause problem, and S is to implement solution. Now maybe you ask, what's the secret to the solution? Well, let me share. This is the secret. I mentioned the secret to increase profits massively are 3. One is organization structure. The second is system and policy. The third is internal control, and the goal is to increase profit massively. Now we are talking about organization structure. As I mentioned, organization structure is very important and is the pillar and foundation of every company. Because with the organization structure, we can design an embedded internal control as well. We can have a limit authority based on the structure of the organization, and we can also focus on what we would like to expand. And we always say that if we focus, then we can expand. But things which we are not focused, then we cannot expand. System and policy. Well, part of it is SOP, but it's not just about SOP. System is not about computer system, but this is how things work or the business process. And policy is like something that can guide the employees what to work. For example, for policy, let's say if our policy for sales is cash payment only. So our staff, our employees know that we only sell cash, maybe cash and carry, etc. Maybe some company has credit. And then internal control. It doesn't matter how much you sell. If you don't have proper internal control, then whatever money that you collect will be gone because of the leaks and inefficiency. But if you have these three secrets, organization structure, system and policy, internal control, then you can achieve your goal to increase profits massively. So in summary, a blind spot even the best CEO make is thinking obvious, not Einstein. I think you remember that we have to spend more time thinking about the problem than jump into conclusion or solution. And then 3 steps to increase profit massively is have a helicopter overview, determine root cause problem, and implement solution. And 3 secrets to increase profit massively is to have a good structure organization with support for internal control, support our focus, a good system and policy, and embedded internal control to help us achieve our goal to increase profit massively. Once again, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. It means like if we have problem and we try to solve the same problem, but we do give the same solution, then what Einstein said, it's called insanity. You do the same thing, but you look or you expect to get a different result. Once again, this is my book, Company Makeover for Massive Profits. You can either buy it at rantaibusinessacademy.com or at Tokopedia, or you can contact me directly by WhatsApp. And I also have available ebook in Google Play. Yeah. And I hope that what I shared today is useful in your career as employee or as a business owner. So thank you. And I can be contacted at this phone number. And also, if you would like to connect with me, I'm available in Instagram, Ronawati Wongso, and also in LinkedIn. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope that your business is prosperous. You all can enjoy the fruit of your labor, and you are not stressful, but it's really fun to manage your business.